Hello everyone. So let's see what's new in watch faces, which has been launched during Google I/O 2025. So Wear OS has a thriving watch face ecosystem featuring a variety of designs that also aims to minimize battery impact. Developers have embraced the simplicity of creating watch faces using watch face format in the last year. The number of published watch faces using watch face format has grown by over 180%. Today we are continuing our investment and announcing version 4 of the watch face format available as part of Wear OS 6. These updates allow developers to express even greater levels of creativity through new features we have added, and we are supporting marketplaces, which gives flexibility and controls to developers and more choice for users. In this blog post we will cover key new features. Check out the documentation for more details of changes introduced in recent versions. Supporting marketplaces with watch face push, we are also announcing a completely new API, the watch face push API, aimed at developers who want to create their own watch face marketplaces. Watch face push, available on devices running Wear OS 6 and above, works exclusively with watch faces that use the watch face format watch faces. We have partnered with well-known watch face developers including Facer, Timeflix, Watchmaker, Puji, and Recreative in designing the new API. We are excited that all of these developers will be bringing their unique watch face experience to Wear OS 6 using watch face push. Watch faces managed and deployed using watch face push are all written using the watch face format. Developers publish these watch faces in the same way as publishing through Google Play, though there are some additional checks the developer must make, which are described in the watch face push guide. The watch face push API covers only the watch part of this typical marketplace system diagram. As the app developer, you have control and responsibility for the phone app and cloud components, as well as for building the Wear OS apps using the watch face push. You are also in control of the phone watch communication, for which we recommend using the data layer API. Adding watch face push to your project. To start using watch face push on Wear OS 6, include the following dependency in your Wear OS app. Then declare the necessary permission inside your Android manifest. Obtain a watch face push client. You are now ready to start using the watch face push API, for example, to list the watch faces you have already installed or add a new watch face. Understanding watch face push. Sorry. While the basics of the watch face push API are easy to understand and access through the watch face push manager interface, it's important to consider several other factors when working with the API in practice to build an effective marketplace app, including how to build watch faces for use with watch face push. Watch faces deployed using watch face push requires an additional validation step to be performed by the developer. Learn more about how to build watch faces for use with watch face push and to integrate watch face push into your application. Watch face slots. Each watch face push based application is able to install a limited number of watch faces at a given time, represented by a slot. Default watch faces. The API allows for a default watch face to be installed when the app is installed. Setting active watch faces. Through an additional permission, the app can set the active watch face. Learn more about how to integrate this feature, as well as how to handle different permission scenarios. To learn more about using watch face push, see the guidance and reference documentation. Updates to watch face format. Photos available from watch face format version 4. The new photos element allows the watch face to contain user selected photos. The element supports both individual photos and a gallery of photos. For a gallery of photos, developers can choose whether the photos advance automatically or when the user taps the watch face. The user is able to select photos of their choice through the companion app, making this a great way to include true personalization in your watch face. To use this feature, first add the necessary configuration, then use the photo element within any part image in the same way as you would for an image element. For details on how to support multiple photos and how to configure the different change behaviors, refer to the photo section of the guidance and reference, as well as the GitHub samples. Transitions. Watch face format now supports transition when exiting and entering ambient mode. This is achieved through the existing variant tag. For example, the hour and minutes in the above watch face are animated as follows. By default, the animation takes the full extent of allowed time for the transition. The new interpolation attribute controls the animation effect. In this case, the use of overshoot adds a playful experience. The seconds are implemented in a separate digital clock element which shows the use of the new duration attribute. The duration attribute takes a value between 0.0 and 1.0, with 1.0 representing the full extent of the allowed time. In this example, by using a value of 0.5, the second animation is quicker, taking half the allowed time in comparison to the hours and minutes, which takes the entire transition period. For more details on using transition, see the guidance documentation as well as the reference documentation for variant. Color transforms available from watch face format v4. We have extended the usefulness of the transform element by allowing color to be transformed on majority of elements where it is an attribute, and also allowing tint color to be transformed on group and part elements such as part draw and part text. The main expectation to this addition are the clock elements, digital clock and analog clock, and also complication slot, which do not currently support transform. In addition to extending the list of transformable attributes to include colors, we have also added a handful of useful functions for manipulating colors. To see this in action, let's consider an example. The weather data source provides the current UV index through the weather.uv index. When representing the UV index, these values are typically also assigned a color. We want to represent this information as an arc, not only showing the value but also using the appropriate color. We can achieve this as follows. Let's break this down. The first transform restricts the UV index to the range of 0.0 to level 0.0 and adjusts the sweep of the arc according to that value. The second transform uses the new extract color from weighted color functions. The first argument is our list of colors, second argument is list of weights. You can see from the chart above that green covers 3 values whereas orange cover 2, so we use weights to represent this. The third argument is whether or not to interpolate the color values. In this case, we want to stick strictly to the color convention for UV index, so this is false. Finally, in the fourth argument, we coerce the UV value into the range 0.0 to 1.0, which is used as an index into our weighted colors. As well as being able to provide raw colors and weights to this function, they can also be used with values from complications such as HR, temperature or step goals. For example, to use the color range specified in a goal complication, introducing the reference element available from watch face format v4. The new reference element allows you to refer to any transformable attribute from one part of your watch face scene in other parts of the scene tree. In our UV index example above, we would also like the text label to use the same color scheme. We could perform the same color transform calculation as on our arc using the weather.uv index, but this is a duplicative work which could lead to inconsistencies. For example, if we change the exact color used in one place but not the other. Returning to the arc definition, let's create a reference to the color. The color of the arc is calculated from the relatively complex extract color from weighted colors function. To avoid repeating this elsewhere in our watch face, we have added a reference element which takes as its source the stroke color. Now let's look at how we can consume this value in a part text elsewhere in the watch face. We gave the reference the name UV underscore color, so we can simplify refer to this in any expression. As a result, the color of the arc and the UV numeric value are now coordinated. For more details on how to use the reference element, refer to the reference guidelines. Text auto sizing available from watch face format version 3. Sometimes the exact length of the text to be shown on the watch face can vary, and as a developer you want to balance being able to display text that is both legible but also complete. Auto sizing text can help solve this problem and can be enabled through the is auto size attribute introduced to the text element. Having set this property, text will then automatically fit the available size starting at the maximum size specified in your font element and with the minimum size of 12. As an example, step count could range from tens or hundreds through to many thousands, and the new is auto size attribute enables best use of the available space for every possible value. For more details on is auto size, see the text reference. Android Studio support for developers working in Android Studio. We have added support to make working with watch face format easier, including run configuration support, autocomplete and resource reference, lint checking. This is available from Android Studio Canary 2025.1.1 Canary 10. To learn more about building watch faces, please take a look at the following resource: watch face format guidance, watch face format reference. We have also recently launched a code lab for watch face format and have updated samples on GitHub to showcase new feature. The issue tracker is available for providing feedback. We are excited to see the watch face experience that you create and share. Explore this announcement and all Google I/O 2025 updates on io.google starting May 22. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.